This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm David J. in for Dustin Kleeman. Hurricane Harvey has been downgraded to a tropical storm, but it has caused widespread destruction across southeast Texas. Weijia Jiang has more from Corpus Christi, Texas.
Harvey continues to pound southeast Texas with torrential rain, and the water is rising fast.
Ranging from Corpus Christi to the Houston area, perhaps as much as between 20 and 30 more inches of rain could be coming down. There is the potential for very dramatic flooding.
The monster storm slammed into the Texas Gulf Coast late Friday night with 130-mile-per-hour winds. The town of Rockport was hit hard. Many homes and businesses are gone, torn apart by the power of a Category 4 hurricane.
He had no idea.
75-year-old Elton Jones's house was destroyed.
Every room in the house, the roof caved in. They had a clay tile roof. It's all gone.
We met Jones at the only open business in town, a coffee shop still with power thanks to a generator. Matthew Otero is the owner. Do you even recognize Rockport this morning?
I do, but as a hurt Rockport, as a fallen Rockport, you know?
Even before Harvey hit, flooding was a major concern, and this is exactly why. Many roads around Rockport are already flooded, leaving cars stranded, and even more rain is expected in the days to come.
The movement, it is stationary. That is dangerous. We're going to deal with catastrophic flooding from Harvey the next few days.
The Coast Guard rescued more than a dozen people who were left stranded when boats started taking on water near Port Aransas, and as many as 50 homes were damaged by a suspected tornado in Missouri City. And another possible twister formed in Cypress, just outside of Houston. Hundreds of evacuees remained in shelters Saturday night, not knowing when or what they'll find when they do return home. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, Corpus Christi, Texas.
About 250,000 people are without power. CNN reports the president tweeted wonderful coordination between federal, state, and local governments in the great state of Texas. Teamwork, record-setting rainfall. According to CBS News, Harvey is the most powerful hurricane to hit the mainland since Katrina in 2005. A grass fire burned along the Billings Rims shortly before noon today. The fire stretched roughly 100 yards north of Park Place and North 16th Street below Swords Park, but grew to about 200 yards. Firefighters worked to stop its spread as flames caught brush on the east and west ends of the fire. No word yet on the cause. And an early morning house fire on the Billings West End caused significant damage. A home on Gold Strike Drive south of the Rimrock Mall sustained heavy fire and smoke damage. Fire is under investigation, but it caused $50,000 of damages. Neither the property nor the contents were insured, and no one was injured. This weekend, Billings City Council candidates are participating in forums for the upcoming primary election. 3 forums today: Ward 2 at Castle Rock Park, Ward 4 at Veterans Park, and Ward 5 at Millis Park. Q2's Dustin Kleeman asked the candidates questions that were submitted by the public. People wanted to know about each candidate's vision for the future of Billings and what the candidates would bring to the council. 21 candidates, including 6 for mayor, are vying for positions in city government, and those in attendance are still asking if candidates support a non-discrimination ordinance for Billings.
I wish that you could just make people like other people and accept other people, but you can't do that. It just doesn't work. You can pass all the ordinances and rules and laws that you want. People that don't like other people are not going to pay attention to that.
We would never have the Civil Rights Act if that were true. Communities reflect the belief system of the people that live there.
Tomorrow, Ward 3 candidates will speak at Central Park starting at 1. Ward 1 candidates will be at Pioneer Park starting at 5, and the mayoral candidates will also be at Pioneer Park at 7 o'clock near the tennis courts. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, those who smiled for today's annual I Am Billings photo hope the image speaks volumes about kindness, hope, and acceptance in the Magic City. Dozens turned out at South Park Pavilion this afternoon to take the annual photo. The picture is organized by Not in Our Town Billings, a nonprofit organization that promotes inclusive communities. The Not in Our Town board says the photo is just one way to push forward a vision of a hate-free Billings.
This is us. We are Billings. We stand together with similar values. We are Not in Our Town, and we say We will not accept intolerance in our town, particularly with just everything happening around our nation and world right now. Just a sense of hope and unity.
And Ortiz says the group hopes to incorporate the law enforcement and firefighters into next year's photo. Through the years, the I Am Billings picture has been taken at MSUB, Pioneer Park, and Zoo, Montana. 63 classic and current European cars went on display in Veterans Park today. The 10th annual All-Euro show features vintage and contemporary European engineering. The event began as a German vehicle show and later expanded to all vehicles in Europe. BMW, Fiat, Lamborghini, VW, Alfa Romeo, and more vied for the best of show and people's choice. And for many of the owners, there's something special about these cars.
Basically, a lot of the engineering, especially the German engineering, I mean, these cars are built to be driven for a long time. They're stable, they're sturdy, they're reliable, they're dependable, and they have so much class.
Back in the 70s, we drove what would now be a classic Mini Cooper, and I thought it was really something. And of course, all the advances of technology today with GPS and video screens in these cars, amazing what the changes are in cars, and yet they both have fun and value, I think.
All the proceeds go to the City College Scholarship. Over the past 10 years, more than $8,000 has been granted. The show started in 2005. And North Broadway is closed in downtown Billings for the annual Billings Clinic Classic. One of the highlights of the classic is the entertainment at the Alberta Bear Theatre. The Mavericks performed at the Classic tonight. The group describes itself as a blend of Cuban grooves and Bakersfield-inspired twang. The Mavericks have a Grammy and several Academy of Country Music and Country Music Association awards. Since 1983, the Classic has raised millions of dollars for the hospital. That money this year from this Classic goes to the Friends of Nursing Endowment to help with continuing education for Billings Clinic employees. And the Mavericks finished up out there. It looks like there's another band playing just outside the theater. But we find Q2's Rob Briggs taking into festivities and with a look at weather. Rob?
Hey, David. Yeah, we're having a great time down here at the Billings Clinic Classic. It's kind of like Havana without the humidity and the political dissidence. It's a lot of fun. We got 1,200 people down here, and it's on until midnight tonight, so come on down. It was a little windy today. I don't know if you noticed that or not. Take a look at the graph. We had wind gusts up to 52 miles an hour in the Livingston area. In the Billings area, crawled up to 32 miles an hour before things finally calmed down. You know, the combination of the wind and the dry conditions and the heat still leaves us in danger for drought. The drought outlook right now, as you can see on the map, very clearly Montana is in the exceptional range for exceptional drought predicted for the rest of the year. And as you pull back and look across the United States, obviously Montana, eastern Montana, in some trouble. Now the big question, David, do we have any precipitation in the forecast, and how hot is it going to be? I actually have answers to those questions while I'm down here celebrating with the Billings Clinic Classic. I'll come back in just a little bit and tell you all about it. David?
Okay, have a good time there, Rob. We'll see you in just a bit.